Welcome to Rad Chat. I'm your host, Brandy Lynn, and today my special guest is JP, the creator of Bricks and Mansions, which I'm currently wearing, and we're in his warehouse. Thank you for inviting us over and letting us come over at this crazy time. We're all safe, everything's good. Welcome.
I appreciate you coming, man. It's been a long time, and for those that don't know, we go way back. So us matching together today, man, it's a big step.
It's really dope.
It's a big step.
So let's just kind of start there. We actually met because we both graduated in 2018 from CSUN. If people don't know what CSUN is, it's Cal State Northridge. And it's funny because we just kept seeing each other in each other's classes. And I think at that point in college when you're like, okay, I know them, I feel kind of comfortable, like, hey, can you help me? Or hey, I want to say stats was probably our first class. And I was fucking terrible at stats. Me too. I just saw him and I'm like, let me sit next to this guy. And then we just had more and more classes together. And probably senior year, last semester, right before we were graduating, we had like 3 classes together.
Yeah, we were going hard that semester. Is like
we're in a group, so then we decided just to be together in a group project, and we just really connected. He was just starting Bricks and Mansions, and I was dabbling in tattoo modeling at the time, but now I'm definitely like way further in my career, and so are you. So let's start there. How did you create Bricks and Mansions?
Bricks and Mansions was just an idea that I materialized because I didn't see that out there. I didn't see no one doing it. I came up with Hustlewear, and I wanted people to wear their ambition, people to wear their journey in life, people to wear what they stand for. And I feel as a group of people that we don't have that in the market. Like, you can go to the mall and pick up just different brands, but I feel like you will never get something like this. Like, this is just out there. It's raw, it's loud, and
one of
if
a kind.
it fits you, it fits, you know? So that's how I came up with that.
That's dope. Do you feel like you said kind of earlier off camera, that you were like going to the mall and you didn't actually see stuff that represented you? How did you decide, like, in your vision of creating Bricks and Mansions, what was going to represent you?
I feel like I had a story to be told, and I wanted that story to be told through the garments. So you know how like a rapper will write a song and tell a story. This is how I write my songs, you will say.
Dude,
every piece has a different story, and it relates to so many people that are going through their struggle, or that are going through change, that are trying to chase their dreams. And it's worked. It's really connected me with a lot of people, and that's what I'm here for.
Dude, that's dope.
Yeah.
So when you were first getting into it and you were like in the grind, how did you know, like, if you wanted to just do t-shirts, if you wanted to do tank top, like, did you kind of know like you want to do the whole spectrum of clothes, or how were you screen printing things, and do you design your logos?
Yeah, so I design everything, and then I get it digitized with someone else.
Okay.
Everything you see, every colorway, everything is my ideas. Every single design, every single story behind it, I'll send it out to get digitized, and then I have shout out True Graphics for that. So that's my partner.
Shout out
True Graphics, man. We've been working together for a long time.
That's
so
awesome.
He'll actually get it on the computer and send me back my actual vision.
Oh, dope. So you kind of give him your ideas.
I
like,
give him my
want
idea.
This.
Yeah, like, hey, put
Color
this here,
scheme.
put that. Yeah, everything. And then he'll send it back, and then we'll go back and forth, and boom. Yeah, that's how that happens.
Awesome. That's really cool to understand the behind the scenes, because as people, we all buy clothes. Everyone in the world buys garments and clothes and shoes, whatever it is. And it's interesting to know the process, that you have a story to go with every piece, and it's your own idea. You're not getting ideas from everything else and just putting your stamp on it. It's from your story. So then to go into what you were saying, that like everything has a story, did you go through a time in your life that you kind of knew this story was gonna come to fruition?
Yeah, so actually my grandpa, he's someone that saw what I was going through, and you know, someone that's older, that's in their 80s, they've lived life. So it's like, you got to tell your story. Like, what I seen you go through, you got to tell your story. And I told him, like, he's a tailor, so he's like, we were just talking, I'm like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have we're at Olive Garden, I'm like, I'm gonna make a
shout out to those breadsticks.
I'm like, I'm coming out with a clothing line. I'm gonna be the first in the neighborhood to do it, and boom, and it was all trial and error. To get to this point, it's taken a long time. But the first tees that came out, I was always like, all about detail. Like I wouldn't release anything until I knew like this is right, this is how we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And then
and that's great to want to know that the detail is there.
Yeah, and I'll put it all in sections. Like the latest one's failure's not an option. So whoever grabs that collection, it's someone that connects to
that
every
message.
single to that message.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is the difference between us and everybody else doing it. Yeah.
So failure is not an option. That is actually resonates, I think, with a lot of people in the world, because people that, you know, maybe came from a hard time and now trying to like go getters or first starters or just anybody that's like, I need to achieve what I want to achieve. How did you decide that the line is going to be called failure is not an option?
It was with actually this first design. So I had the first shirt.
Zoom in on the shirt.
So this one is hustling till the casket drop.
Oh shit, okay.
I felt like I'm like, yo, this is gonna be raw, this is gonna be loud.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had so much going on. I had mortgage payments, car payment, bills are coming in.
Yeah.
And you're
like
just
we all do with
life. Like with everybody, you know, and I was just cornered, and I felt like, yo, failure's not an option. Like I gotta make it to this time through this whole thing, and that's where that came about. And every single design came from that.
Came from there.
Yeah.
Awesome. How do you get the drive in you that you can say like, okay, failure's not an option? Where does that drive come from?
The drive comes from having gone through that, having failed before. You know, anybody tells you they haven't fell off, they're lying.
They're lying.
You know, I took my L's, I've gone through it, but I took enough to say no more. Failure is not an option. The stakes are too high at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm going all in. Like I you know, I pray a lot, and I know that this is the time. This is my time. I've gone through every obstacle, and now it's just time to get it. So failure is not an option from here on.
I love that, because I feel like my whole life personally, I have had to kind of do it myself. I didn't really have a lot of support or financial support. You know, my family wasn't in a place to help me. That I really just had to like use any resources around me and mentors and just literally go get it. So a line like this would appeal to me so much, because it's like, fuck, I know what it feels like to have failed, and it's like, I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
To bring it back a little bit, how did you come up with Bricks and Mansions as your name? Did it take a long time to decide on the name? What was your thinking process? Bring us through that a little bit.
So it was right after I decided to actually have a clothing line and have everything legit, you know, get a LLC. That's, you know, in business school, that's the first thing.
We are business majors, so that's definitely why it helps.
You know, going over there, you know, we're studying, we're going back and forth.
Those law classes.
So you a damn fool if you don't take that knowledge and apply it in the real world. So I know that trade marketing my stuff, building my LLC, that gives me ownership. Ownership is everything. While I was going through that, I'm like, what's gonna be my name? What represents me? And I went through some things, but at that time, I'm like bricks. I was like brick by bricks. I started with brick by brick. I'm like, because it's step by step. I remember how I started. I was involved in some other things. Then I started. Then I noticed I went to high school here. I went to community college. Then I went to CSUN, and I was like, brick, step by step. You know, nothing happens overnight. So I'm like, bricks, brick by brick. And then my dream, you know, with a lot of minorities, is to come to this country and buy property, buy a home. It's you know, it's huge. So I was like in the process of buying my first property, and I'm like, a mansion. What would be better than a mansion? Obviously, that's, you know, So I'm a mansion, man. I want a crib, and I'm like, brick by brick, bricks and mansions, boom, and
it just popped.
It popped, and then I never looked back after I did the LLC. Everything that I needed to do, and I started from there.
Dude, that's so amazing. That's a great story behind the name, and I feel like to connect that, like for me with my tattoos, all my tattoos represent a story, and it's awesome that your logo represents your story and what that means to you. Do you feel like you mentioned like coming from a minority, it was really important to own property? And are you not originally from? Did you come to the United States?
I came to the United States. I'm from Ecuador, South America. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. How do you feel like as a minority group, as you said, it feels to come to America and make your own company now? How does that empower you as a person and your culture? It
really makes you feel like you reached a goal, you reached a dream. And it's not like, I got this thing where it's not about reaching the actual goal.
Yeah.
It's looking back at the journey. Like, that's me. I'm like, look, I made it here, but damn, I remember this journey. Like, you know, going through school, you know. So to me, it was more the journey. And when I finally got it, it's keeping it, because you could always lose it. I'm like, nah, man, we got this. What's the next thing? So I'm always about going to the next thing. So I never settle. So I dropped the line. I'm already, all right, it's time for the next one. So yeah, that's what it is.
That's awesome. It's really empowering too to talk to people from other cultures and doing other careers and entrepreneurships, coming from that business background, and then talking to someone that's really done it for themselves is so empowering to me to talk to someone like that. Do you feel like now in your company, when you kind of look back, as you said, the journey, do you ever have a conversation with your grandfather now and be like, do you remember when we were at Olive Garden and I told you I was like interested in this, and now here I am? How is that experience for you?
Man, for me, it's I get really happy. It's emotional because him seeing my journey and him being around it. I'm blessed to still have him. He's 83 now.
Oh, so grandpa.
He seen me from like the very beginning to now. He's always proud. Like, he's always like, yo, man, you gotta keep going. Like, you can't stop. You got a story to tell. Like, you gotta motivate people. You gotta, you know. And he's always like, man, your personality, you got this charm. Like, I'm always like a chameleon. I'm around people and I'm cracking jokes and I'm all about networking. So
very important in California, Los Angeles especially. It's
a big thing. So for him, it's like, yo, I told you. So so he's happy.
That must be so like a warm feeling inside.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you said that your clothing line is your story. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about your story and maybe the rough parts or dark times that had you now come to this very happy place?
Yeah. I feel like being in the neighborhood I grew up in, and every neighborhood, you know.
Yeah. Do you want to say the neighborhood you grew up in?
Yeah, I grew up in Hawthorne.
Okay.
So Hawthorne's my hometown, and everyone there, we're all trying to make it. We're all trying, everyone, and that's every neighborhood, you know. But with me, it was more like, man, I got a story to, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
I want to motivate people. It's like I had this fire in me where just being a regular person and just not applying what I know, my story. I'm like, dude, if I could, you know, motivate the next person, then that's the goal, you know. But for me, it all started with I was always hustling. I was always like, for example, like I had to connect at Staples when I was maybe 14. And you know those open boxes?
Yeah.
So whatever, he'll open up the boxes and give them to me for like $20, and I'll flip them for $60.
Shit, okay.
When they're like $100. So I would do that, and then in between that, you know, before marijuana got legalized too, I was involved in that as well. You know, I was always, you know, dipping and dabbing into different things, and that was another hustle. I started working in cell phones too. And I noticed that I was always involved in sales. Yeah. And I was always good. Yeah. I was extremely good. Yeah. So
you had a knack for like knowing how to persuade, but also just be a people person, it seems.
Yeah. So I will be the person that you will come get everything from. So I felt like that journey alone made me who I am. So I was like, okay, I did this. I'm working this 9 to 5. This is as far as this is gonna go. I'm selling this as a kid. I'm selling these boxes. This is as far as it's gonna go. Yeah. And that's what made me go back to school and be like, hey, you know what? If I go get this education, it's gonna open up these doors for me to actually be able to talk to different people and apply my knowledge, or just branch out on my own. Yeah. And that was my story, just to pretty much make it step by step and not settle for just what's there for me. Yeah,
that's really empowering, especially for people who are out there and maybe just starting out and as you say, like hustling, they're just trying to get ends meet. Yeah. So you said you kind of put yourself in college, and in my experience personally, I had to do everything on my own. I had no help. I had to figure out how to do the loans and getting myself there, and the whole crazy fucking headache of a journey of like putting yourself in college. Did you have any help on the way or mentors, or did you have to do the grind, and how was that grind for you?
Yeah, that was like a whole other thing. Like I graduated from the local high school. I went to Lusinger High.
Okay.
Shout out Lusinger High.
There you go. I'm not from here, but it's cool.
That's the home team. And then from there, I didn't get accepted into any of the big schools. So I kind of stopped going to school, and I was messing around like a lot of people. I was just dipping, dabbing in different things, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Like Elko's there, you gotta accept me there.
Is that a community college?
El Camino College.
Oh,
Community
okay,
college,
okay.
yeah. So then I started going there, and that was a whole journey. And then that's when I realized, like, I was working at a cell phone shop, and they randomly let me go.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of like cut my legs, because I'm like, yo, to me that was the spot. I'm like, I'm doing well. I'm getting 2 checks and a commission check.
Yeah.
And you know, that was the biggest lesson. I'm like, yo, I don't have anything. I have a high school degree, and at any point they could take anything from me. So I went back to school, and I just applied myself. I started thinking of what I'm gonna do with my life, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now, but I know that I don't know not one person that can say, yo, I should have never got that degree. I messed up having that degree. You know?
I know, yeah. You're sad about the money, but you're glad you did it.
Yeah, you're glad you did it, and it does open up doors. So I'm always encouraging people, like, whatever you're into, go to school for it. Like, you have nothing to lose. You know, it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice, but again, it was step by step. I did my time at El Camino. I was accepted into CSUN, so my goal was just to get out of Elko.
Yeah.
When I went to CSUN, it was a whole different life. It was just, man, the drive over there itself
from
was
your
like,
place is pretty far.
And making it out there, meeting people, networking, it really changed my life. Yeah.
When you look back at that journey of just maybe the college journey for this moment, and you're driving to CSUN, you know, you're bouncing here and there. When you finally get to CSUN and you're going to classes, did you always know you wanted to do business in that time frame of your degree?
Yeah, I knew that was the one thing that I wanted to do. It was business, marketing, anything that just I was interested in. But however, you know, it was a lot of math classes, calculus, and stats, and all the stuff we go through that you're like, well, am I really gonna use this in the real world? But to get that degree, you gotta, you know, go through it. But I knew that business was me. Like it was a no-brainer. Like boom, business done.
And now you have your clothing line, which you can apply that business aspects and the marketing aspects. When you were in the classes, did you have one that you're like, this is my shit, like I'm doing super well in this class, and then now you look back and you're like, thank God I had that class?
It was marketing, and believe it or not, it was calculus.
Oh shit,
business calculus.
Oh, that calculus class.
Dude, I took that over the summer. Yeah, and I used to go to tutoring. I would leave Hawthorne at 8 a.m., get there by 9:30 or so, and then go to class for 1 hour Monday through Thursday, and then go. I was really lost, so I would be at tutoring from 12 to 5.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. But those are things that now it helps me with budgeting. It helps me. Marketing has helped me with knowing what audience to promote my brand to. Doing everything, you know, how to post on Instagram, what to look for, what's my my audience ages, you know. It's things that I wouldn't have, you know,
any idea about.
No idea before, and now I'm like, okay, I kind of walked into this knowing, you know. So
do you feel like it's a more of an asset now that you have put yourself through all the schooling and the education, that now running your business, you don't need anyone's input, it's all your input because you're strong enough as a person to run that business side of it?
Yeah, like I feel like it really gave me that courage, and it gives me that confidence to know, like, bro, like someone could come and try to tell me something, but I'd be like, nah, like I know what I'm talking about. You know, I welcome any, you know, advice and everything, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm looking more for like partnerships at that point. And the people that now I'm networking with are like, you know, at a higher level than me, so that I'm like, all right, cool, I see what you're doing. And now we're able to have something to talk about, you know, and I could relate in those conversations. So I feel like, you know, that's how that works. Yeah,
that's a very big, like, I feel like personally, like, accomplishment. Like, shit, like, I'm at a place now where I know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to hustle through the talking. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm strong enough to talk about it.
You're that confident that you're like, nah, dude, I know what's going on. But the biggest thing was like how everyone around me, my whole neighborhood received me graduating. It was like not just my celebration. It was like everyone around me was so happy for me, because it doesn't really happen. It's not the norm out here. So especially someone coming from my background and the people I've been involved with, everyone was happy. It's like when I got this thing, like when one of us make it, we all make it.
Yeah.
So
and that's the best part of having a community, and especially like almost being like the poster boy of the community, poster man of the community, because you, like you said, you're the first one to kind of get there and do it. Did you feel like when you graduated, it was like this whole experience, like you could see the tunnel of your dreams, just like you just have to walk through it?
Yeah, like I saw, like I put in that much work, and you know, the ceremony was an hour, but that ceremony took me 5 years for me to even get
5 years
there.
too.
I was on that 5-year plan. I was working full time. I would always tell. I had a baby on the way. I was going through a lot. Yeah, I got my 3-year-old, my daughter Sophia. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, I was going through a lot, and again, there was no way I could fail. So that was my whole thing.
That's amazing to really come that full circle, and then to now your new launch being failure is not an option, and you can teach your daughter these lessons and empowerment. Yeah. So going back to the clothing side, did you, when you're coming up with different launches or different names of the launches, how is that process for people that aren't familiar with clothing lines, and kind of bring us through that process?
So for me, I'll tell you about what I got coming. So I did Failure is Not an Option. Boom. The next one is called Paid in Full. Okay. So what's
the meaning behind that?
So Paid in Full means I'm coming. I know my worth. I don't want nothing more, nothing less. I need my pockets filled up. Like, paid in full.
Shit, and that's dope, dude. I love that. Super rad.
That's kind of something I happened over the 2 days. I'm 2 designs in, and every time I drop now, I make sure like I'll do like 2 shirts. This time we did shorts. Oh shit. First time we did shorts. On the next one, man, you're gonna see socks. You're gonna see the tanks for the summer. Dude, dope. The women's line too. You're gonna see a shirt specifically for women. Paid in Full, that's what it's about. So every concept is gonna relate to that.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. So when you make the concept, how is that to feel when you put the name on the concept, you get the garments that you want in it? What is that feeling like when you see that picture of like, this is the line, I'm ready to push it out?
It's like, when you listen to an album and you're like, okay, see this song, I like this one, I like this, and like you could like judge that album and be like, oh, this is a classic, like that artist must be ready to put it out. It's the same with me. Like I have this feeling when I know it's ready that I'm like, all right, cool. I can't add anything, I can't take any. So when you can't add or take away, for me, it's ready to go.
That's when it's ready. You don't want to touch. You can't mess it up anymore. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, like sometimes I might make some extra pieces, and I'm like, no, they don't really fit. Boom, I'll put them to the side. I got some pieces that I've never released because they didn't fit with the concept. Yeah. So that's how it goes for me.
Dope. So now that you're releasing lines and you have your own warehouse that you're in, how was it to become in the warehouse and get it all situated and painted and put art up and get your racks? How was that for you?
Man, it was a dream come true. Before the actual, Corona hit and all that, I was signing a lease for this store. Oh shit! And I felt like I wanted to connect with people. That was my big thing. Yeah. And thank God I didn't, because of this whole thing. But I like it more this way because it's more personal. Okay. For me, putting the racks up, everything was online. Like e-commerce is big, it's huge. I'm able to reach places that I will never be able to reach. So with the actual shop, you're able to come by and pick up your stuff right away. I don't have to ship it to you. If you're local, then you'll come. I'll get on IG now and be like, yo, so and so is here. I appreciate the love.
Oh, dope.
It gives me that chance to actually touch hands with everybody. Yeah.
Why is that so important to you as the creator of this line?
Because I feel like if someone's spending money on the business, right, it's kind of like on me. I want to make sure I give you the whole package. If you're able to come in, when I've noticed that when I meet people, they'll be like, can you kind of tell me what this one's about? And I'll go and tell you the whole story, like, hey. And once I explain it, they'll end up like, yo, whatever you got my size, I'm gonna need that. So it allows me to really
that connection.
We get that connection, and then from there on, they'll become a ongoing client. They'll be coming back. Like I now got reserve lists. Like the next collection, like I already got certain names that they're like, yo, when it drops, call me. Like I'm coming by and picking it up.
Oh, dope. Yeah. How is that to have like the feeling to know that you're connecting with these people, but also that they're coming back? What is that feeling like? I'm sure it's very positive and inspiring. Yeah. but knowing that you said you come such a long way and hardship and the struggle of like hustling the journey, and now you have people that are like, yo, sign me up, I'm ready to go. How is that feeling like?
It feels so dope because I'm like, now like for the next collection, I'm like, it's kind of already sold out. You know, I'm very limited to the pieces that I make. I'll make 50 pieces on each design. Okay. And whoever joins that, like if you're feeling that collection, then only 50 other people are gonna have that. And I think that's something so different. So when they're able to come by and I'll reserve it, it's because they've already been involved from the very beginning. Then I'll send you a sneak peek like, yo, this is coming out. Okay. So it's kind of like me having a relation with everybody at this point. Yeah.
So when you say that it's very limited, do you want to keep it limited going forward because it's like your niche of like, these are the hardcore clients? And then do you feel like you ever will branch it a little bit, maybe more than 50 garments or pieces, just because you might be getting more influx of people?
Yeah, like I know that the way it's going, we're gonna have to expand the 50 piece minimum. I'm looking for a distribution deal where my goal is to get to the magic show, I think in Vegas.
Yes, dude, for sure.
So that's my next step. And
you come, Brad Chat will come with you.
So you might not get 50 pieces from me all the time, but you're gonna get 50 pieces from this store, that store, that store. And that's the next thing, getting a distribution deal and keeping it going. But when you come see me, you know, you're still gonna get the same formula, so you know where it comes from, how we started. But once we branch out, then you're gonna get in your local store.
That's dope because you have such future goals, which is so important. With like you said, failure's not an option. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep hustling. I'm gonna get in this store and that store. So when you're selling the products, obviously Instagram is a very big platform right now. They can find you. Where is your Instagram?
At Bricks and Mansions. Boom.
We'll tag it somewhere down here. So you have Instagram as a platform, and you said e-commerce. Do you have a website as well?
My website, bricksandmansions.com. And I'm always throwing, I'll put it on my Instagram, but like on Twitter too, Bricks and Mansions. So whatever I tweet, I'll post it on Instagram too. Okay, cool. So a lot of motivational tweets, whatever I wake up with, I'll throw it out there.
That's cool because it keeps people very engaged of like what's coming and keep them ready. Like, when's he gonna drop the launch? And that's really like dope because it keeps people wanting to know. So you do sell them on those platforms, and then they have the option to come to the location and purchase it. But would you ship it if they wanted it shipped?
Yeah, of course. So we actually ship every other day. So if you buy it online, even if you're local, I'll ship it to you.
Okay, cool.
So it's your option. So if you want to come down, you come down. But if you want to ship, like a lot of people, like I got someone from Pacoima. Like I've never been. Shout out Pacoima.
Hey,
that's a new city.
In my direction.
I've never been that over there, but someone actually bought some stuff like that. So dope. I'm actually getting it. So if you go through online, you're gonna get it shipped.
Do you ship worldwide or just United States?
No, worldwide. So wherever you want it, we'll send it out to you. And it's free shipping too. That's another thing. I don't charge shipping.
Shit, come buy his shit. Everybody loves free shipping.
If you mess with me, you mess with the brand. You could relate. I'm not gonna charge shipping.
Dude, that's really dope. I feel like that, just like not charging shipping is like, one, helping the client like money wise, but then also you're doing it because you want to like have them invest in the product. You're just like, here, I'm so grateful that you want this. No shipping, just come get it. That's really dope. So it's something that I do. I'm like, if you already spending your money, I'm not charging you shipping. That's not me. That's not how. Money is not everything. You get me? For me, I have fun doing this. I love, and the moment I'm not gonna have fun anymore, I'll probably stop. But I don't see that happening. But it's your passion.
It's my passion, So I don't. It's one of the things I do. Another thing is that I just started doing like a few months ago. Whenever I drop a new collection, anything that's left is $20.
Oh shit!
It could be a $60 jacket, $20.
Oh shit!
It's like, have it. We're gonna flood the streets.
Dude,
that's something that I knew, and people really love. Love that. They'll come get the new stuff and be like, "That's $20. Give me that too." So it's kind of like bundling. I used to be in the wireless world, so it was all about bundles. Like, yo, take this phone, take the charger, take Bluetooth, and I apply that again. I'm applying that into the business too. I was gonna say, how does that help you now in your own business? Like those skills that you learned along the way. I mean, they're vital. You get me? So I remember I started working at a kiosk at the mall. I was known for being at that kiosk. And you know, I was a shy person, but in order to get paid there, I would have to like greet people like, yo, how you doing, what phone you got, like that was my thing.
Yes.
And then when they'll come in, like, you need this Bluetooth, you need this case, it was all about, you know, open-ended questions. And that's what I do when people come here. Let's say you just like this one shirt, you like the Hustling Till a Casket Drop. Okay, cool, I'll give you the story on that, but then I'm gonna show you like, yo, I got this too, like this is a story behind. So, you know, it's like it's vital to be open-minded and not just, you know, just really tell the story of the brand when people are here and got the time for it.
Yeah, that's super dope, because not only are you just giving them like the one meaning of the shirt, but you're also letting them have the whole outfit that like, hey, this is what this whole thing represents, and then you're gonna walk around and that could represent something else to them. Like you tell them your message, and then like I could be like, yo, this is my story and why I think failure is not an option, or I think like hustle till you die, or whatever the thing is really incredible. Yeah. So how do you feel like when you see people, like maybe you're in the mall now, or you're walking down the street, or you're in school, or maybe you go back to visit school, or wherever you're going, a restaurant, and you see someone wearing your shit, how does that feel? Or do you like, what is that experience like?
It's priceless. I love it. You know, I love when I see people rocking it, and I like the fact that we're in a age right now where you could tag people. Because sometimes I might not see you, but you tag me, I'm like, oh, that's dope, and I'll repost it right away. I show everybody love. I follow everybody back. So, but I've seen someone, like I was at a bar and they're talking about the sweater, and I'm like two spaces to the left.
Oh shit!
And I'm just, my friends like, oh, they got that on. I'm like, wow, like, yo, yeah.
That's so incredible.
Yeah, I send them over some shots, like, yo, thank you. Like, he's like, that's you.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love that, because I feel like in life I've only gotten places with like, you know, help along the way, or just people's advice, or good fortune, or just good vibes. Like they helped me out in class or whatever it was, and I remember that, because you never know when you'll come back and see them. And I feel like that must be an ultimate like full circle for you, when you can see like across the bar they're wearing your shit and they invested in you and they support you, because if they're buying your stuff, they're supporting you, and that must be so incredible as you've come such a long way.
It feels great, because you could make as many shirts as you want, but if no one's feeling them, you know, that story might be priceless to you, but if it doesn't connect, then you're in the wrong business.
How is it to find your demographic? Or do you have a specific like range of people, or what? How was that?
It's crazy that you asked me that. Like I thought about that, and man, my demographic, you know, is more of a I call it the hustlers. So if you ever see my post, I'm like, shout out to all the hustlers. Everybody getting to the bag, everybody chasing the dream. So that's my niche of people. So it don't matter if you're black, brown, white, Asian, whatever it is, we all have that in common. And I've noticed the people that come by, they're like, yo, man, I could relate to this. Like, and I love meeting people. Like, I love networking. That's my whole thing. Like, before, I would never post pictures of myself on Instagram. It would just be the garment. And then this year I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna connect with everybody. Like, I'm here to network. Story. I'm gonna tell my story. And it's worked. Like, people really feel connected now.
I definitely agree. I think when you really put yourself in front, I mean, some people it's a little different for, like, they want to be behind the scenes, and that's totally fine. But I think when you, nowadays, people, especially the internet, they really connect with authenticity. And I really, in the same way, always like try to be like, this is who I am. I might be a dork or a nerd or whatever people, you know, misjudge. I have tattoos, I'm this hardcore girl, or whatever they want to think, but I'm always going to be myself and post about, like, my captions are coming from me and what I feel. And I think that's probably why you've gotten such a better reception.
My response just blew up after that. Like, I was shouting out everybody. I was doing, again, things that are not the norm out here, like from where I come from. Like, you don't really get in front of the phones like that. They'll judge you, or, you know. But I felt like I got this saying, it's like, why be try to be a somebody to a bunch of nobodies? You get me? So it's like, I'm gonna do me. If you like it, cool. I'm not offending anybody. I'm here, you know, again, with respect, and I'm showing my character. And if you can relate, let's do it. If you can't, then you can always unfollow. You don't have to follow me. You know, so whoever does follow you, it's because they can relate to something.
And they connect with your content.
Exactly.
And that's really interesting that you said, so you said you grew up in an environment where maybe like it was like, you know, not popular to do in front of the camera and show who you are and speak what your truth is. Do you feel like now that you've come past that and you've really like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna leave the haters there and I'm gonna come here, do you feel like that was a very big turning point in your life?
It was huge because I felt connected even to the brand way more because it's like my project. So I felt like, who's gonna tell the better story than me? I made it. So I feel like you have, it's like, I was talking to this girl that does hair. And she was her business account on Instagram is private. So I'm like, that don't really make sense. So I felt like it's like having a store and leaving the door shut to the customer. So that's how I see that. You know, you gotta be able to come out. You gotta be able, if you really believe in your brand, you gotta come out. So for me, it was like, I'm coming out. I put a post up, like, I'm an entrepreneur from Hawthorne. This is what I'm doing.
You're in the blue shirt. Check it out.
Yeah, check that. That's the All About the Benjamin shirt. And I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and I hope everybody could relate. And man, the response was right when I put that post up, I dropped Failure Not an Option. Like, literally went up online. That probably that hour, within that hour. And we sold out within 24 hours.
Oh shit, dude!
And that was my first time coming from behind the scenes. Whoa! It was a huge step for me.
That's really incredible.
I never did that before.
Wow. So do you feel like now that has happened and you sold out in 24 hours, like, it was beyond what you could have imagined, and now you can imagine so much more going forward?
Yes, because I was stuck for a long time, and that's okay. You know, you're gonna go through the hurdles, you're gonna go through the obstacles. I was just stuck. I didn't know I didn't even know what to post on Instagram. So I went
it's kind of hard, you know? You have to kind of figure out what do I want to say, what's my audience, but also who am I? I just want to be who I am.
Exactly. So I went through that, and I had a collection. I was just like, I'm not connected. Like, I don't see, you know, and I went through that, and then one day it clicked. I'm like, I'm not connected because I'm not in front of the camera. Like, this is what I need to do, and I don't see a lot of other people doing that. And those people that do come out from behind the scenes are successful. You know, you always, if you see someone that's really made it, you see, you know how they look. So that was my whole thing. I'm coming out. I don't care anymore. It is what it is, and I'm gonna push this brand to the fullest.
That's really incredible, and I think it's very inspiring because I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure tons of other people feel the same way. But I think, like, I'm a person that I would connect with the hustlers. Like, I've had to help myself and just go for the grind and do it. And then when I see someone else, like, you're scrolling on Instagram, you get some ads and whatever, and then you see the brand, you're like, oh, that's a cool shirt, let me look into it. Then you go to their profile and you're like, dude, this guy or this girl or whoever, or this, you know, whatever they identify as, is just like fucking me. And you connect on a whole nother level, and it's way more personal. I think now that I've gotten older too, I only want to wear stuff that I feel like represents me. And it kind of goes back to what you said, that you felt like nothing represented you, and that's your drive to create this incredible line that can represent you, but also millions of other people.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you got to tell your story. You know, I don't want to, like, get old and say, oh, I should have done this. That's my biggest fear. Like, I'm going to do it now. I got a second chance at life, and I'm going to chase it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to meet people. You know, like the old school way. I think the internet kind of, you know, saturated a lot of old things, like meeting people, you know, walking around or going somewhere. Now it's like, oh, what's your IG? What's your, you might not ever really know that person. So I kind of felt like I want to bring that back, and that's the reason why I allow everybody to come by.
And that's really awesome, just have that open door policy, because not only are you just representing yourself online, but you are that same person when they come and meet you, and they can handshake you and learn your story and learn about the designs and etc. Do you feel like it's really empowering, one, to have your own line, but then when you hear other people's stories, when they're like, I bought this shirt because it reminded me of this, like, how do you get those stories from people?
Yeah, man, I had a so they'll come, and if it relates to them, they'll grab a shirt. I had someone that got that Married to the Game shirt. So it's a $100 bill rolled up in a diamond ring. Oh shit! So it was a relationship that went sour. And he's like, man, you know, it went sour. Like, I almost lost my job. I was depressed. I put my all into this person, and this didn't work out. And I kind of almost lost it all. And when you put this shirt out, it really made me feel like I'm married to the game. Like I might not have married that person, but I'm married to the game, and the game meaning his life, meaning his journey, his job, him not losing himself. And that touched me. I'm like, okay, dude, like you feel what I'm saying in your own words, you know? So that was crazy.
Dude, I can only imagine. I mean, that's like what you would want in life. Like people to connect with you and then to share their... I think the reason why I'm doing this podcast is to learn these things. I love learning other people's stories. So that must be so incredible to hear someone else like tell you such a personal story about themselves.
That's the best.
Yeah. So going back to when you said this is like a hustler's line, what does that really mean? Like, what's Hustlewear mean?
Hustlewear means again, the journey, not giving up, trying to reach your goal, your ambition. That's the key word. Like I have a saying, it's success by any means. By any means necessary, we're going to do what we got to do to get to where we want to get to. So Hustlewear is what you will wear, during that journey. So it's kind of like a superhero hat puts their, cape on.
Suit, or if you're an Avenger.
You're going to put this on and get out there. It's loud. And when people see that's different, like, most of my clients tell me, yo, when I'm wearing your stuff, like it stands out, and people ask me like, oh, what you get? Like that's what it's about. That's Hustlewear. I came up with that. Like it's about people grinding, people hustling.
That's really crazy, and in a good way, because not only is it Hustlewear is like what you came up with to represent your clothing, but it's also like a vibe to me. It's like a mood. So not only are people wearing your clothes, but they represent this vibe about it. Like Hustlewear is not only, it's like a movement, I would say. Do you feel like it's kind of like you created your own movement?
It's exactly what it is. Some people will say like you created your own wave, kind of, and it, to me, it's a movement. It's either you're gonna like it or you're not. It's either for you or it might not be for you. But it works. It's different, so I feel like I created my own lane, and I'm sticking to it. I know my formula, and it's working. Like I want to keep going. Like I know exactly like how to move now.
That's incredible. And it kind of, for me, you said off camera that you started selling out of your car. So what is that feeling like now that you went from selling t-shirts out of your car to having your own space?
Man, it's a great feeling. But selling out of my car, it was crazy because I was going to CSUN, and the semester's super expensive out there. I didn't get any loans. I was just doing whatever it takes to pay.
Wow, good for you.
My semester.
I'm in a lot of debt.
But I got into some other stuff after that. But going over there, my goal was like, I'm gonna success by any means. I'm like, the money's not gonna be why I stopped going to school. I had a kid on the way. I was already buying my first house. My down payment went into it, and I'm like, yo, I got a car. Now I'm getting this car payment. So I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna stop. I got this line coming out. I know how to sell. It's a no-brainer. I'm like, so I had someone. I don't know if you remember this guy named Cam. He was in one of our class, and so he had ordered some stuff. And he came to the. I'm like, meet me in the parking lot. So he comes, I pop the trunk, and I'm out there just handing him the clothes, telling him like, you're not a medium, you might be a large. People see me, and then
they're interested.
A crowd attracts a crowd. So people started coming by, and CSUN is like full of different people. And I was just networking. Next thing you know, every other Friday when I was dropping a collection, I'll take 7 of each size. You know? So I'll take it, and then my trunk will be packed, and then I'll just be like, hey, whoever I met, like I got some stuff, like check me out. Because sometimes your class might be 10 to 11, the next one like 1 or 2. So you have that whole
like
time,
100
and it's
lecture.
hot. So I'll be out there, on those days, and then people that already knew me or didn't know me or heard about me will come around and.
That's such a great way. And it really shows the entrepreneurship of yourself, because you started in that nitty gritty, like you knew what you had to do, and you made people interested that they would come and flock your car and know like every Friday JP is gonna be outside. That's so incredible, and like such a great story to hear. Like I love success stories and just like knowing, because I feel like people need to know that like it's not easy by any means, but you can make it happen. And like maybe you went through some dark times, or you went through really great times, and you had a great life leading up to it, or you had a really terrible life leading up to it. Whatever your your thing was, but you can come out of it and be like, yo, like, this is crazy. This is what I did.
Yeah, it's that it makes sense.
You're right.
Like my story, like I know why I went through all that now.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes sense.
Do you feel like you had to kind of go through that to become who you are now?
Yeah, I feel like you got it. Whatever you go through in life is for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and it's how you act during that time, who you become, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like that everything I went through was for a reason, and now I'm here, and it really made me grow up. It's made me really be who I am nowadays, you know. So I'm thankful for it. I don't want to go through it again, but I'm very thankful for the experience. You know?
And that's the greatest thing about a person, when they are always thankful for it, because it keeps you humble. I think in life, like when you stay humble and just you have that like chip on your shoulder, like I know I went through this, but like I'm gonna just keep it here and I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
You know. How does it feel like for you? You mentioned that you're a father. Like when you make your lines, do you in the back of your head think like, when my daughter is old enough to know what is going on, like, am I making her proud? Do you have these like emotions about it, being a father?
Yeah, like I feel like it's gonna answer a lot of questions for her. You know, I feel like I raise her. I pretty much want her to chase her dreams. I don't want her to grow up and say, "Well, Papa, you didn't do this." You know, I want to be able to have those stories like, hey, when I was younger, I used to be in the garage. I used to be selling shirts out the trunk of my car. I used to do this, do that. Yeah. And this is probably why you want to start your own business. Yeah. You know, she is my blood. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, she wants to sell lemonade or do things like that. You know, I already see it in her, like the way she moves. She's like my little twin. The way she does things, I could already... I see she's next up, you know.
Yeah.
So
that must be so like empowering for you. Like not only have you come this long way, and now you have your daughter to raise and like empower her along the way as well.
Yeah, I'm all about women
girl
empowerment.
Dads, right?
Yeah.
That's really, I think that is so incredible. And then also, I just thought of it. You said that brick by brick was the first way it kind of started, and it made me think. I don't know if you ever listened to Joyner Lucas. And he came out with that Will song about how like Will Smith was like brick by brick. That's how you build the wall.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's it. Really is so inspiring. Like you're right. Like every step along the way, and everyone's gonna have their own version of that. It really like comes to fruition. Yeah,
like I feel like nowadays I see a lot of the younger crowd. They want it right away. They want that success. They want that job that pays the big salary right away. And I feel like it's been forgotten to sacrifice for what you want to do. You know, I remember having that regular job, having, you know, making shirts and not selling out so quick, or making too many of one size, or, you know, not having a website or an LLC, not having the knowledge. But that didn't stop me. Like, you got to go through it. Like, it all leads up to something. Yeah. And I feel like that's my message to the, you know, the younger kids. It's like, you know, whatever you're going through, you're supposed to go through it. Like, you're just not going to shine overnight. Like, there's no such thing.
I know. It really is true, and, like, the best advice, because I feel like when you think back to your younger self and you're, like, cursing, like, fuck, why is this happening to me? Why does the world hate me? And then you get past it, and you're like, oh, okay, the world doesn't hate me. I just had to learn something. And it's like a lesson in that. So it's so incredible. So you had failure is not an option launched already, and now what's your next launches like, and how many full sets have you launched in total in the history of Bricks and Mansion? Man,
I've probably done over 20 sets, 20 different collections.
Okay.
Yeah, the next
because you've been doing this for a few years now.
It's been 3 years. You know, but it took me a while to get the formula that I have now. Like, I have my own formula. I know like I know how to move right now. And it took me, it's all trial and error again. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't you know. What works for that person might not work for you. I've learned that. So the next one is called Paid in Full. Okay. Paid in Full is the next one. When does that one launch, or not? That one's, you're not sure yet? End of May, before you get the exclusive, before Father's Day.
Yes, okay.
Before Father's Day, we're dropping that, so I know.
Cool. All right.
You know,
so sometime in between now and June-ish.
June-ish, yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you already like have so you're dropping that one next, and then you're gonna jump right into the next launch after that? Or you're gonna kind of ride the waves of Paid in Full?
I feel like right when I drop that, summer it's gonna be like probably midsummer or just start off. But I feel like right after that we coming right back out, like maybe a month later.
Okay.
Yeah, I have over 100 designs in the vault.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so all my ideas, everything that you know, I might come up, like yesterday I came up with the second design for Paid in Full.
Oh, okay.
So I've been saying this lately. I go, I'll hustle, zero luck.
Okay.
I'll hustle, zero luck. Like I don't believe in luck anymore.
Okay.
Like,
so you put your
that's gonna
there.
be a shirt. So I'm like, all right, I got that, and then from there I'll visualize how I'm gonna put it together.
And that's really inspiring from what you just said, because you were not lucky along the way. You had to put in your time and put in your grind and your hustle. And there was no
luck.
You didn't just get like picked out of a hat. Okay, he's gonna make it. You worked for that.
You worked for it. There's no such thing as that. You know, like, well,
that's incredible. I love that. That's really
so
dope.
I'm like, it's my new thing, and then I threw it on Instagram. Like someone commented on one of my things. I'm like, I'll hustle, zero luck, and then that person DM me like, hey, what does this mean? I said, boom. That's the next one. That's the next shirt dropping.
That's so incredible.
Because
exclusive, guys.
Yeah.
Dope. Do you feel like ideas just come to you, or sometimes they take time? Do you feel like you said, that one just kind of came to you, you posted it, you got good reception? Or do you sometimes really take time to think about an idea? Yeah,
it takes time, and that's why I think sometimes I might not drop for a whole month or a month and a half or maybe 2 months. Like I don't like I told you off camera, like I don't do nothing rushed. Like I don't believe in rush moves. Rush moves are slow moves.
Yeah.
So I just feel like when it's time, the time is right, I drop it. Like right now, I know that, all right, we got a month to go. I got 2 designs. I need another 3. So maybe I might get those 3 overnight, or I might get them in a week, in 2 weeks, who knows? But it's usually when I'm listening to music, or I'm with people, and I might watch a movie or something, and they'll just come to me. Yeah.
Speaking of music, I'm very, very into music. What kind of artists inspire you?
Man, I love hip hop, rap.
Okay.
Nipsey, of course. You see
I was gonna ask you.
Shout out my boy Exposure. He actually took that picture.
Oh,
he took
Exposure?
That
You know Exposure?
Yeah,
I know Exposure.
Yeah, I know. He told me so. He took that.
Oh my God! Shout
flip.
out to Exposure
my
and
boy.
his brother.
And his boy Carnival Pictures. Shout out to y'all, man. They take care of a lot of my visuals.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they did your photo shoot
That's
too.
So funny.
Yeah, they're
dope.
super.
Love those guys.
Super dope people. Dope
and Mario,
dudes,
my tattoo artist, was the one that linked me with those guys.
Yeah.
And it was his bike we shot on.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's
dope, dude. I see. That's what you don't know who you're gonna talk to.
They're family
that are gonna know people.
Yeah.
Dope, dude.
So you know he goes to the concerts, and he's a photographer. So he actually took that one when I moved in here, and I told him my whole concept of what I was doing. It was his gift to me. He's like, I'm gonna give you this one, and I'm gonna give you 2 more. He signed it. I'm like, yo,
dude,
I appreciate
dope.
that. Yeah.
How did you guys connect?
So I got a friend, one of my best friends, Robin. His family, they throw a turkey bowl every Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
And it's people from like family friends, of course. We'll go and play football. And he was one of the persons that always came around. I started seeing him around, and then he would talk about him shooting videos and doing everything. And I would talk to him about me coming out with a line, same way I met you, and boom, we click like that. Like we exchange numbers, and we see each other every Thanksgiving. Like it's like we're family.
So dope.
Yeah.
It really, not only is it about networking, but just human connection, talking to someone. You never know where it's gonna go.
You never know.
We met in school, like we're graduated. It's been 2 years since we've graduated. So we were in school for a lot of years before that. And here we are connecting just by, being cool in class, and then here you are, you know someone from someone, and you just hit it off, and now you go to their family function. Like human connection is everything.
It's everything. Something that's not happening a lot anymore, and it's like I really met him not on the internet or nothing like that, and we clicked, and he's done a lot of my visuals too. Him and his brother, they'll go to my
God. How awesome. I know them too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dope. That's really incredible. So obviously Nipsey is one artist. Is there any other artists that's your go-to?
Yeah, Nipsey, Meek Mill, DMX. I'm a huge 50 Cent fan, man.
Dude, 50 Cent is fucking hilarious.
50 took me
Best
to
Instagram.
That every album. And then I got into Meek Mill, Nipsey, everybody in the West Coast. A lot of new artists that I listen to, that are not, are up and coming too.
Yeah.
But I would say Roddy Ricch is a new one too. I like a lot of the Miami stuff too. Shout out to everybody out there. I got people out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you feel like getting into rap and hip hop, was there something about it that like clicked for you? Because I know from my personal experience, I grew up in rock and roll music. So I had my different like influences, 60s, 70s, and then I was like my mom like 80s, 90s, and then growing up rock was very like formed who I was. So I always wonder, did you grow up in that type of music? Did it just like touch you in a different way?
Yeah, it was the storytelling. It was again, that it was what it entailed. Every song, like 50 Cent was Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
Hustle, but like he's all about hustling. Nipsey was laying down the blueprint. DMX, like all that, it was things that it would relate to what I was going through at that time. So hip hop and rap are they go hand in hand. You get me? Fashion, the streets, and hip hop, rap, you know, it's all tied down together. A lot of artists you'll see they have their own lines now too. You go to a concert, they're selling merch. So yeah, they hand in hand.
Nice. Did that inspire your clothing line and designs as well?
Yeah, of course. So when I drop something, you know, I know that it can get to an artist or, you know, someone that they might feel, you know, a design, a tee, you know. So I know that when I drop something, it will connect to somebody because the music, again, fashion and music go hand in hand.
Hand in hand,
yeah.
Because you want to wear something to their concert that like represents the vibe. Like I'm always thinking that, like, okay, what am I going to wear at this show? What am I going to wear at this show? I went to Beyonce, I got buy Beyonce's t-shirt.
Yeah,
it's Beyonce.
Exactly.
Like, that's a good vibe to have about it because you want people to not only connect to the story, but then connect to like the movement of it. Like, okay, can I wear this here? Can I wear it here? Can I go to the bar? Can I go to the show? That's really empowering to have that knowledge to think so outside of the box. Yeah. And it's good to know that you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah. You got to be different. You got to do things, you know, that not everybody else is doing, but that is you. You know, you can't let go of who you are because you're trying to blow up. Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite type of, like, do you like designing t-shirts more? Do you like designing shorts or socks or whatever you're designing? Do you have like a favorite, or does each set you drop have the same things in each set?
It depends on the collection and what we're doing. Like for Failure's Not an Option, I've never made shorts before. Okay. So I was like, I'm doing shorts. It's gonna get hot. I know last summer I didn't do them. Yeah. Tanks are coming out. So it all depends. Yeah. So it all depends with what it is that's gonna happen around that time. So
you take a seasonality to it.
Yeah, you got to. You know, you just can't come
California.
out with a. I mean, you know, it's crazy because everyone asks for hoodies, no matter what.
Yeah, hoodies are cool.
They're like, yo, we need a hoodie. I'm like, bro, it's 80 degrees. We need that hoodie. So the next one, Paid in Full's gonna have a hoodie because it's just everyone's requesting a hoodie. So
because people probably want to be in their house like snuggled up in a nice hoodie, or like going to run out to do an errand real quick. Just throw in the hoodie. It's easy. Yeah. So you should think about doing flannels. I think flannels are really cool.
Yeah, that's my next thing. Like I've thought about that too. Like I wanna definitely move into that avenue as well.
So you're open to kind of all different garments of life.
Like, yeah, if it makes sense, if it sticks to what I'm doing, to the formula, then yeah, why not? Yeah, awesome. Change is everything. You gotta welcome change. You gotta welcome whatever comes your way. You know, if you don't adapt to it, you're gonna get left behind.
That's true. That's really true because I feel like a lot of people are kind of scared of change and don't want to adapt, and then they're stuck, and then they don't really go anywhere. So change is definitely probably has been on your asset. Yeah.
I think that's key. Like you gotta adapt to what's going on, to the times, to people. You know, again, you could drop a line and it might mean the world to me, but if it doesn't connect to my audience, then it's a failure.
It's a failure.
Yeah.
Which is not an option.
It's not an option. Yeah, we're winning.
Nice. So, is there anything you would say to maybe the younger you or anyone listening that might be wanting to achieve a clothing line or just any type of success, or maybe they're going through a hard time? Is there anything like advice or anything you would kind of parting words you would want to say?
Yeah, I would say follow your dream. Don't expect the answers to be just there for you. Yeah. Sacrifice, struggle, embrace it. And don't give up. Don't think it's gonna happen. A clothing line is gonna happen in a month. Don't think because you went and got your LLC, now boom, you're gonna have clients. Connection is everything. You know, you got to be able to connect to people. You got to be able to keep going. This line might not have worked. Yeah. If you really love what you do, you got to keep going. So I would say don't stop. Yeah. Failure's not an option. Yeah. Don't stop.
Failure's not an option.
Keep going, chase your dream, and if it makes you happy, you know, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. I think that's incredible advice, and I'm so inspired by listening to your story. Yeah. Like, you know, I just knew you in school, and then we became friends. Like, we were just cool friends. Like, oh, there's JP. I know I can hang with him. Yeah. We can shoot the shit.
We're the ones tied up in the
class. I know, we're the only ones tied up. Yeah. We look like everyone's judging us.
Yeah,
like,
everybody,
these little rebels. And then here we are, like, smart as hell. No one even knows what's coming out.
Presentation came around. Boom.
Yeah.
We're not the ones that were shy. We're like, yo, we're here for this. And I'm Brandon. I'm JP. This is Brandon Lee. And boom.
We got it down. Memorize that shit. Work together. And it's so cool to collaborate with other people. And I'm so honored that you would allow me to interview you and allow me to represent your clothing line. And I feel very connected to the clothing line because I understand. We've talked personally about our personal experiences and growing up and having to both take on our lives and just make it into what it is and go through a hard time, and I feel empowered wearing it because I know the message and I connect with that message. And I think I'm so grateful to have met you because everyone that you meet is like it involves your life so much more, and it's made me a better person along the way. And now hearing your story, that's gonna go out to other people, and I just really hope too, like, other people will feel connected because it's like a happiness. Like, I don't feel alone, and I know there's a line out there for me to represent. So everyone should just, networking is so great, but just the human connection is so empowering. And it's just, I'm so proud to know that you've done this line for your true self, and it's just so inspiring. And dude, the positivity that radiates from it is so crazy.
I appreciate that.
To know you've done it, that's so amazing accomplishment. So you should be so proud.
I'm so happy, man, with the response. I'm so happy where I'm at. I'm so happy in life. It's crazy that we did this podcast because I just came out, from behind the scenes, and it's the perfect person to do it was with you. And I told you, I'm like,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna do this, I'm doing it with you. Like, I'm coming out Rad Chat. I'm like, I even promoted that before.
Yes,
like, I got
Rad Chat.
When you got your logo, I'm like, Rad Chat. I'll be on the Rad Chat, and everybody's like, Rad Chat. Like, I'm like, you gonna see?
Dude,
watch.
I feel so honored. Thank you for that, because it means a lot when the vibes are right and it's comfortable and you can feel like you can just have a chat. My reason I named it Rad Chat is just literally to have a chat with someone and learn about them and then let them promote what they're promoting, because it's all about, you're right, like networking and just talking about what's positive in the world. We need positivity, and we need people that are really being themselves.
We need unity, diversity, positivity, and
equality.
We need equality. We all need to come together. Put everything else aside. We're all the same. We got to just come together. That's my biggest thing too with people. Is like, when I talk to them, like, I don't care where you're from, where you coming from, or who you are, or how you look.
Tattoos or no tattoos.
No tattoos. It doesn't matter. Like, let's connect.
Dude, it's such a great message. And going back to what you said, like, we're the only ones tattooed in the class. Being tattooed is now coming more into the norm of life. But we were kind of like misfits. Like, people judge you and they think you're like a bad seed or something. But tattoos are a story, and here we are talking about stories, and clothing's a story. Like, our bodies of tattoos represent who we are as a person too. Exactly. And just knowing, like, when you meet someone that's open to who you are and doesn't judge you on your tattoos, those are the realest people.
Those are the realest
because
people.
They want to know, like, why did you get that? Like, why do you have that Benjamin on your arm? Why do you is that like your daughter's exactly. It's such an incredible story, and I think that fact that you're tattooed makes you fucking radder.
Exactly. Like, before you even talk to me, I'm kind of giving you a preview of what you're gonna get yourself into. So that's how it was when I was out there at CSUN, man. We will stand out. So, after they would talk to me, they'll be like, yo, bro, like, at first I'm like, I was a little shy, but you cool as hell. Like, I'm like, come on, bro, like, tattoos don't mean anything. Like, it's just it's not negative, it's my story.
It's also like an introduction. Like, I want someone to see my Alice in Wonderland and be like, oh, is that Alice? Why did you get that? Like,
that's the main thing. Like, so, like, mine is the Benjamin, so everybody's like, yo, why that? And when I tell you about the line and you see the All About Benjamin shirt, and you're like,
clicks.
I get it. Boom, done.
And then when people see my Alice, they're like, oh, she loves Disney.
They'll go to your page and like, Disney. That makes sense. Like, But
it's funny because I'm sure you, like, I think about everywhere I'm going to put a tattoo and what the meaning is, and all my tattoos actually have double meanings. And Alice was not only that I'm a Disney fan, but also just like, Alice in Wonderland as a movie is her on her journey in life, and she's trying to find what path to go, and so every character has their own meaning, and it kind of like, you start to tell people that story, and they're like, oh wow, you're not just like randomly getting Alice in Wonderland, there's depth to that. So they see your arm and they're like, there's depth to this $100 bill because it's your whole journey of your clothing line, and then you open that conversation. So it's like, people, You gotta ask about tattoos because you don't know what story you're gonna get.
You don't know. You might just have the best time hearing the story.
Yeah. And then you might have some other one that could be a fucking crazy story.
Yeah,
You're like,
Hello
shit.
Kitty or something. I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to just talk about that because I think that's really cool that like we shared that in common, and then it made a, you know, when you share something with someone, there's like a commonality where you feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
And you want to tell your story to them, and you just, you know, they're interested in you. And I think you created such an interest with your line and, you know, where you started and where you are now. It's just so incredible, man. I'm so proud to know you, and thank you for having me. Is there anything else, like last parting words? Your line's gonna drop, so we'll definitely promote that and post it, and then tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Bricks and Mansions. You'll see the whole line. The next collection, Paid in Full, drops end of May, early June. And
stay tuned for the drop. It's exclusive. And
Rat Chat, we out, man. Keep going. Positivity is everything, man. Keep hustling.
You, man. Cool. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Awesome. Bye, guys.